Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Manoj Sehgal, your moderator for the day. I welcome all of you on the behalf of ABCD International. Today, we're looking at next 5 leaders. We'll be doing it for past 2 days, and couple of amazing speakers we have heard. We learned a lot of leadership qualities from them. Today is the time to learn from more leaders. So let me introduce a very good friend of mine, Dr. Shelly Bhutani. Sanjeevni, if you can do the honors of introducing her and passing the stage to her.
Definitely, sir. Our first guest of honor for tonight is Ms. Shelly Bhutani. She's a doctorate in computer science with a good 23 years of experience in education. She's a principal in a reputed school in Delhi, and she's also a passionate leader for 7 schools in CBSE Delhi. Besides that, she's also a motivational TEDx speaker, a CBSE master trainer, a national trainer of Khelo India, an international relationship counselor, and a national president for All India Principal Association. She has also written many books from 2012 till date. And trust me, this was just a glimpse of all the professional accolades that she has achieved. Ms. Shelly Bhutani, can we please have you with us now?
Yeah, I'm here, Sanjeevni. Very good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Shall I start, please, with your permission?
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so very much, ABC International, Dr. Manoj Sehgal and Mr. Akash, and all my co-speakers friends. Thank you so very much. And if I'm so sorry, if I in between, my video would be switched off as I'm traveling. So I will be, feel regret for the same. So let's start the topic, thought leadership. Very encouraging topic for me as a leader from last 23 years. So sometimes it seems that we can find information, content, almost any topic, right? A lot of webinars are going on. So we pretty much, every organization, every platform has some web pages, right? Dedicated to sharing their knowledge or increasing anything. But what makes a piece of content exactly reach the glory of title of thought leadership? What you suggest, what is thought leadership? So I have suggestion for thought leadership that we have basically 4 main factors. That is innovation, educating, visibility, and credibility. Why is it so? Because leadership does not just scrap the surface. It does not share it, what is already known. Instead, it is content which dives deeper and further building on knowledge and expertise to produce any innovative ideas, whether it's a company, whether it's an organization. It addresses big questions on the minds of one targets and biggest trends and influence in another one. So what is thought leadership? Basically, it's a knowledge of individuals or organization who are committed to deeper understanding of their own webinars, organizations, and therefore create insight analysis and content. Why is it so? Because all this enlisting experience, passion, thought leaders look for unique perspective with which to view these both the topic, like uniqueness is important in thought leadership. What is even higher on the priority list? It's just even higher best answer, because ultimately thought leadership is a method of informing. So what is meant by thought leadership in education too? If I talk about in education, it's a thought leadership of those wanting to educate and engage with their own students, faculty in a commendable or compensable fashion, right? This is by consistent high quality content. So the end goal of thought leadership is often not on leads or on of any product of any organization. It's basically, it's a product, it's your knowledge itself, with the engagement being the equivalent of your own expertise. So the desired outcome of thought leadership is therefore high engagement from one's audience to another platform or another beneficial outcomes. Because thought leadership can be viewed as a door through which organization can welcome anyone. Through it may be customers, competitors, or the general community. Everywhere thought leadership works up. Why is it? Because a means of educating and sharing knowledge. This commensable relationship in which audience benefit at no cost to themselves. They build relationship. They build thought leadership between them. It should be avoided as a means of your own self-promotion. That is not leadership. That is not thought leadership. When you follow your leaders to build another society, that will be thought leadership. Because not only will this lose the audience in trust, but also the trust that already built up in thought leadership. So what is again meant by leadership in visibility? If I talk about innovation, education, then what is visibility? One cannot lead if they cannot be seen. This is visibility, right? Because content, therefore, requires visibility to become thought leadership. Because thought leadership in turn then increase the visibility of our own thought leader. It is always accelerated their influence. They are taking them closer to their goals. So leadership is content which always influence and creates change, whether it's credibility, whether it's visibility, is innovation, or in education. So it is important that it is based on credible information. Although experts can, of course, have expert opinions, to be very effective, it must be backed up with the data and underpinned by the facts. So this is where thought leadership research comes into play. And why engage in thought leadership? Because there are several benefits we can take in thought leadership. Generally, what happens? Thought leadership are trailblazers, right? They work at the top of their game. Why they work at the top of the game? Because both influencing those around them. So now who would not want that? Build trust between a company, organization, and faculty, fraternity, or audience, or employer, or employee. So this is, we have going to trust between employer and employee who can explain how to solve their problems, because leader clearly dialogue with their own employees. So they are going to trust between everyone by producing thought leadership pieces that show they not only through their own product, their own leadership quality, but they also challenge both faces and advanced thinking on all this with their faculty, with their leadership quality, with their juniors, with their seniors, because thought leaders can build trust in their own way. So what is built between strength, visibility, and reputation? Friends, what do you think about that in thought leadership? If I talk about what is reputation, why this brand strength and build trust? Not only does this being knowledgeable increase trust, but it looks pretty good if organization is producing thought leadership. It's showing it's ahead of the game and aware of what is going on around them, because they shed a positive attitude, positive light on their own organization. Becoming thought leadership part of convenience and becoming more visible means the audience will get to know them, things very comfortable, things very positive, and they also accessible and more social. So these all provides opportunity. Becoming a thought leaders opens a world of opportunities for a business, for an organization, anywhere. You will see that they always exposure, they always access to people, and they always build relationship with other leaders in their fields, in their own area. So reach new expertise, reach new roles, grow roles, and find out the current ones. So where is the provides power of the leadership? Where is the status of leadership? Where is the authority of thought leadership? Is thought leadership always think about the power? No. Thought leadership never think about the power, because Being a leader in our own field is always puts one in a position of their own authority. Leaders never ask for the authority, they always command the authority. So, by being the one, the others look of knowledge, expertise, and insight, we would also then become the one who others are pursued by, influenced by, who others will follow in decision making situation. So, producing thought leadership is always ultimate expressions of everywhere, whether it's education, whether it's company, whether it's organization, because to your own expertise, your own edge. So when you have thought leadership can take many forms. It can be written, it can be spoken, it can be online, it can be offline, it can be long sometimes, it can be short, because thought leadership always works independently, collaboratively, because list goes on of the thought leadership. We are all leaders actually. The matter is what kind of leaders we are. It is always credible and it offers insight or innovation from an expert. So generally, it's a good idea for one thought leader to use various types of leadership and choose a platform strategically, not politically. They always help their coordinator, their collaboration, their trust. Everywhere thought leadership works. So the question again arises, what do thought leadership do? What they do actually? Because they inspire people, the future generation, as they have innovative ideas, as they turn ideas into reality, and they lead the thinking of their field of expertise. They create revolutionary advances in their own organization, and they always influence development of their discipline. So create foundation, building relationship, inspire people are all features of thought relationship. So I really want to ask from Dr. Manoj, if I have a time, I should go on, because I'm not able to share the PPT, or
No,
if is there any question from the audience side and from your side, it will be welcome to answer.
ma'am, you have time. You have time.
Okay. So if I talk about the leadership, what kind of challenges we are facing as we want to communicate about the topics, very important to our own faculty, and we want to take a unique perspective. So, but how do you know what is important to us? What is thought leadership? And what is flesh out the content with cold hard facts? Being an expert in your own field, in your own leaders, always looks better. But what looks even better than expert opinion is an expert opinion backed up by the cold hard facts. Because being a leadership, if we put the role of piece of thought leadership, it's always incorporates strategically and data in supports of their aims. And it can only benefit when you improve credibility. Why do you improve credibility? Because it looks more reliable, trustworthy, especially if done with another one. So increased chances of gaining facts and figures can always be more relatable and more engaging. So always build a trust. That means piece of thought leadership content can get more mileage over the time and will be less likely to become outdated. So if I talk about what is a research in the organization of thought leadership, basically it's always expert ideas and input. Thought leader maintain the relationship between leadership and the research, because it's a two-way system. Why is a two-way system? As a principal or as an educator, what we think, we are a good leadership, we are doing the good leaders. No, until unless we will not collaborate, until unless we will not build the relationship, until unless we will not make another leaders, we are not thought leadership. We are not thought leader, because collaboration with the thought leaders always matter. Because when you think about the others, when you think about the growing of others, That is a part of leadership. That is always useful to have input, because sometimes what we do, we always use the words in our leadership. We will do that. We will, because as politicians, if I talk about in the country, we always do that at the time of election, that we will do that, we will do that. So there is a kind of, 10 points of listing we elaborate in the front of public. But exactly who is a thought leader who works in front of the people, who works for the people, who works for the relationship, that is a thought leader. So what is research? As an experts in their own industry, they can guide the angels to take up the type of research to conduct and the questions to be asked. It's only collaboration, engaging, entertaining with the trust, and with they also add valuable inputs, not negative inputs. They always feel that if the inputs is valuable for them, they also findings of their research and the report made on that particular industry based on all these findings. So what is we have to guide for the others leaders? Guide future thought leadership pieces in terms of strategies, to take topic to discuss always, to collaborate, to have a dialogue with the juniors, to make the presentation, to take the suggestions. This is called the thought leadership. Because if we uncover the facts, headlines and trends always measure opinion. They always attitude with the behaviors, because this is qualitative and quantitative. When we talk about the research part, always qualitative will come, quantitative will come, and we also have to go in benchmarks. What are the benchmarks? Always engaging with your juniors by letting them know how they measure against the peers. Because it is very important that we have to create insight that capture headlines and promote all their coverage. So how to make thought leadership strategy? Make goals. Friends, if you will make goals, what story you want to tell? Just start at the destination. Don't see the source where you have to go. Just start, decide what headlines you would like to make it up, and lead the way backwards as to what question you need to ask and who you need to ask them. This is define the goal you want to be. To research from their own way. So what you do your own research, because by conducting all this with, you can ask the question. You don't know the answer. You don't know the data. But when you talk, when you take the suggestion, when you go for the thought leadership, you will look even for why. And why me? Always we ask the question, why me? Why me is just identify the topics, identify the goals. Because when we identify the talking points in we or as institution, we always hear more to our own colleagues. So we always bring together goals and their research. That is a quality of thought leadership. Because never think over it, that where we have to go. Nobody knows where we have to go. Nobody knows how we have to go. But we have to just go on. Even though thought leadership should be accessible to all. If I, as a principal, if I close my door, for the parents, for the staff, for the students, that what I'm doing, I'm not accessible to them. Why I'm not accessible to them if I'm not able to listen to them? So this is my responsibility to listen each and every in my education institution. Every person is important for me. Why important for me? You never know what they can do the suggestion to you. A small person, even a peon, even a sweeper, can give you a good suggestion. It happens with me in the last 23 experience. I learned a lot. Since as a leader, I'm not a leader. I'm not an educator. I'm just learner. Why I'm learner? Because we have to decide. We need to decide that who we are trying to reach. If we want to reach a higher level, yes, we have experience of this and this years. Yes, we have experience. But how much we are capable to experience more, that is a matter. So please ensure in thought leadership harmony. When you ensure harmony in your own strategy, you always align your institution very well. And that is something that your juniors would find you as an interesting leader, as a thought leader. And they will also bring good suggestion, good reviews togetherly. All your thought leadership pieces in a way, and that is harmonious, that is harmony, that is collaboration, that is cooperation, that is support, that is to grow others. That's a leadership. Leadership is not grow yourself, not at all. Leadership to more leaders, to make more leaders. That is all informative and insightful. Because when you work for harmonious, when you will influence to others, your leadership always come forward in front of others. You no need to give your name on the platform of Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. When you will go for the leaders, when you will grow to others, your name automatically come on the top, you know. So what is thought leadership? Your thinking should be vast. Your broadness should be vast. Do not think that, oh, if I, share this thing with others, then what will I, whatever you have, whatever you have, just give your learning to others. Because I just remember I used to, when I was student in the college, what I used to do, I just all together with my friends. Chalo, मैं आपको पढ़ाती हूँ आज. So this kind of things always matter. When you teach others, automatically your subject would be clear in the thought leadership. So what is thought? What is leadership? If you will bind both the words, your thinking, your collaboration, your trust, all together would be present in your own leadership. So keep the stream of thought leadership content consistently over the time, because it will create a presence that cannot be go unnoticed. So be diverse, make it visible, and then your thought leadership will be worked according to you.
Dr. Shelley, very well spoken and amazing thought leadership. I love the innovation, visibility, and the fact without self-promotion. So it's amazing job. It's so commendable that this is the type of leadership we're looking. You're traveling in difficult times, but still you made it a point to be on the stage and speak. So tremendous, absolutely fabulous. And we loved your words.
I hope that I have not disturbed you all because I'm traveling. I'm so sorry.
No, ma'am. It is always a pleasure. Listening to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but Dr. Shelley, we might have a question for you if we have from the audience. Anybody, if you have a question, please you can unmute one by one or raise your hands and unmute.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to ask one question. This is the leadership qualities which you have mentioned are generally common to all kind of leadership, like dynamic leadership or the transformational leadership or the visionary leadership. Can you please explain any specific quality which is specific to thought leadership or the thought leaders?
Yeah, sure. According to me, get active and stay always. Spread the social love around, because as a thought leadership, its content should be always visible. Wherever your target audience resides, it means you should be very active, you should be very spread social love, and you always measure first, analyze, and improve. So these three qualities, measure, analyze, and improve, always awesome inside your own secret. When it comes to thought leadership, it comes always analyzes, improve upon your own competitors' content efforts. So according to there's a one line: measure, analyzes, improve, and build the trust with the thought leadership. Because when you embrace this genuine voice and tone yourself, it's an important rule of thought leadership that it always content. You must always be embrace a genuine voice. So you always be that thought leadership when you want to see grow others. When you see others, juniors should be grow. When you see create and distribute creative. So if you are creative, if you are accessible, then obviously your juniors, your others leader would be accessible. And you will always measure better. Because if you are quiet, if you will not talk, if you will not present, if you will not collaborate, if you will not build that trust, you will not a good leadership. You don't have that much of creativity. So if you want really a leadership quality you want to become a thought leadership, then your thinking should be broader. You should not be thinking in a narrow. Okay, I'm sitting here. If I can be saying, like for example, like I can be refused to a class today, but no, it was my commitment to present. That is my thought leadership. That whatever I committed, I have to complete it. No matters where I'm on the road, no matters where I am. But my thought should be very clear, very brief, and very vast.
Absolutely, absolutely, so brilliantly spoken, Dr. Shelley. It's always such a pleasure, and I love the three guru mantras you have given. I hope we all follow it, and
Yeah.
you are a live example of actually a thought leadership. So thank you so much, and thanks for such a golden words, and your presence on the stage really set up the tone for the rest of the speakers. So I
My
hand it over
major
to Sanjeevni for the second guest of the day, and a very close friend of mine. Sanjeevni, the stage is all yours to introduce one of the biggest dynamic leaders we have in modern era.
Okay, thank you so much, Manoj sir. And so moving on, I would like to welcome Ms. Shelly Bisht with us today, who is also a passionate educator with having a 21 years of experience in teaching. And besides that, she's also an international speaker, a moderator of international conferences, and a talk show host as well. She's also a CBSE observer and a core member of the result community. So welcome, ma'am. So you may please proceed now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe I am audible.
Yes, you are, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Well, ना थके कभी पैर, ना कभी हिम्मत हारी है. परिवर्तन संसार का नियम है. कभी तो दिन बदलेंगे. बस इसी सोच से जिंदगी का सफर जारी है. Hang in there, as better times are ahead. Good evening, distinguished founder of ABCD International, Mr. Akash, eminent mentor and moderator, Dr. Manoj Sehgal, Ma'am Sanjeevani, resplendent guest speakers, and my alluring spectators. It's a privilege and honor for me to be a part of this International Business Transformation Summit 2021 and put forth my views in front of all luminaries on work-life balance. Well, August gathering. Work-life balance is not a new phrase added to our lexicon during pandemic, but it has been a business buzzword for years. And the concept is that employees should avoid letting work overtake their lives. It is all about our skills to balance family responsibilities, mental health, exercise, and hobbies with our career. But ever since the demon pandemic has shaken the entire world since 2019, work-life balance has gone for a toss and became a taboo and integral part of our life. Work plays a significant part in all our lives. Our earnings ensure that the lights stay on. There is food on the table and the rainy day pot is full. It's no easy task to achieve work-life balance in today's unpredictable and fast-paced business world. As we grow increasingly more connected through technology and social media, it's becoming more and more difficult to separate work from our personal lives. It is commonplace to check emails at all hours, take business calls at the dinner table, and work on our laptops on weekends. How has this become acceptable? Employers expect more from their people, which leads to them feeling more pressure to achieve greater results. Consequently, this leads to longer working hours and less time spent at home. Now, as a business leader, you have a responsibility to help all your team juggle the demands of their work and personal lives. Even your more engaged employees may still be struggling to find balance. The pandemic has led to a sudden shift in the dynamics of workforce behavior. All sectors have rushed towards work from home arrangements. Workplaces are going fully or partially remote. Kids are home from school. Businesses are partially closed, and normal events and gatherings are restricted or cancelled. All and sundry has now become virtual. It has created a new normal. It has altered what a good work-life balance looks like. Parents have to take care of their children as school and daycares have closed or moved online. Employees are now working from home, making it even more challenging to separate work and personal life. Work is being turned into workspaces, and Zoom calls can be interrupted by pets, deliveries, and frequent visits from family members. बाधाएं आती हैं, आए, घिरे प्रलय की घोर घटाएं, पांवों के नीचे अंगारे, सिर पर बरसे यदि ज्वालाएं, निज हाथों में हंसते हंसते आग लगाकर जलना होगा, कदम मिलाकर चलना होगा, कदम मिलाकर चलना होगा. Work-life balance has never been more challenging. What's worse is that no one knows when things will return to normal. Employees, parents, families, educators, and business owners are tasked with redefining the balance between work and their personal life. Because many workplaces were already shifting to remote work, it's likely that some changes will be permanent. New communication technologies will continue to be used for convenience, and businesses are rediscovering new ways to increase flexibility for their staff and save money with remote work environments. Many people are dealing not only with these challenges, but also illness, loss of friends and family members to the coronavirus, or new responsibilities surrounding the pandemic. People are going through rapid, drastic changes that can be anxiety inducing and stressful. Thus, mental health will likely be an even bigger consideration for proper work-life balance long into the future. The secret of change is to focus all your energy not on finding the old, but on building the new. असफलता एक चुनौती है, स्वीकार करो। क्या कमी रह गई, देखो और सुधार करो। जब तक न सफल हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम। कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती, लहरों से डर कर नौका पार नहीं होती। Every coin has two sides, and if we have been seeing the dark side of pandemic, why not to celebrate the brighter side too and consider pandemic as a boon and spread optimism and positivity among your folks? People today really value workplace flexibility and remote work because it allows them to focus their energies on work and life as opposed to commuting or other complications due to geography. To reach a port, we must sail. Sail, not tie the anchor, sail, not drift. Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. Be open to adjustments. There is nothing about this current moment in history that allows for stubbornness. Technology now allows people to connect anytime, anywhere to anyone in the world from almost any device, like Dr. Shelly Bhutani has connected us while traveling. This is a live example. This is dramatically changing the way people work, facilitating 24/7 collaboration with colleagues who are dispersed across time zones, countries, and continents. शाम सूरज को ढलना सिखाती है, शमा परवाने को जलना सिखाती है, गिरने वाले को होती तो है तकलीफ, पर ठोकर ही इंसान को चलना सिखाती है। We fall, we break, we fail, but then we rise, we heal, we overcome. Ultimately, the greatest lesson that COVID together. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. No matter how much falls on us, we keep plowing ahead. That's the only way to keep the roads clear. We think mistakenly that success is the result of the amount of time we put into work instead of the quality of time we put in. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Often, when you think you are at the end of something, you are at the beginning of something else. How important is work-life balance? Maintaining a healthy work-life balance is not only important for health and relationships, but it can also improve your employees' productivity and ultimately performance. Put simply, if your people don't view work as a chore, then they will work harder, make fewer mistakes, and are more likely to become advocates for your brand. Businesses that gain a reputation for encouraging work-life balance have become very attractive, especially when you consider how difficult it can be to attract and retain younger workers these days. Bearing this in mind, it might be a good idea to keep your existing employees happy. Focusing on work-life balance will help you draw a valuable talent pool for new recruits and boost in retention rates. It will save time and money while ensuring a high level of in-house talent. Now, fewer health problems. I would want to discuss, some more reasons why work-life balance is important for our people and our organization. When we are stressed and overworked, we run the risk of jeopardizing more than just our social lives. Our physical and mental health is in danger too. It's no secret that when we are overworked, tired, or stressed, our health will suffer. A poor work-life balance can lead to a variety of symptoms that can affect our well-being. This ranges from flu to serious health conditions like strokes and respiratory problems. And then I would want to talk about more engagement. By helping your people to find the perfect balance between work and home, you will increase their engagement levels. Now, this has many positive effects. Having an engaged workforce will lead to your people going the extra mile for you and becoming loyal advocates for your brand and product. It is often suggested that engaged staff are 2.5 times more likely to stay at work late if something needs to be done after the normal workday ends. Less burnouts. We all get stressed from time to time. It is unavoidable. However, workplace burnouts are avoidable. You should make efforts to ensure this doesn't happen to your people. Burnouts occur when we feel overwhelmed or unable to meet constant demands. The negative effects of burnout can affect every aspect of our lives. The inability to separate work from home will massively increase the chances of burnout. So it is important to encourage your team to take time off and leave work at work. More mindfulness. When we find and sustain a healthy work-life balance, we develop greater control over our focus and ability to concentrate on the task at hand. This is known as mindfulness. While there are certain benefits to working from home, the transition can be difficult and finding balance within your life can become even more complicated. Despite the challenges, it's possible to stay healthy and positive. If COVID-19 has left you feeling burnt out, overworked, and stressed, here are some ways you can manage your work from home environment to create a better work-life balance. Find new ways to exercise. So what if you can't hit the gym or your regular Zumba classes? Rope in your family for a yoga session. You can go for introspection, meditation, breathing exercise in your garden, terrace, balcony, or your favorite corner according to your comfort zone. Buddies, you can even have the virtual sessions with your near and dear ones. So what are you waiting for? Quickly stamp it and find outlets for laughter. Set strict boundaries at home, create a structured and flexible schedule, establish dedicated spaces for certain activities, stay social on your free leisure hours, and get connected to all virtual happy clubs. To quote a few, chat over a coffee, express to de-stress. Know when to unplug, establish boundaries so that you are not taking that extra burden, establish a routine with clearly defined working hours, keep work emails to work hours, and then adapt your attitude. Acknowledge your feelings, positive, negative, and neutral. They're all valid and need to be expressed. Lower your expectations. Perfection does not exist, and it is okay. If you're not as productive as you think you should be okay with just doing your best with the resources you have. Practice self-compassion, engage in self-care, prioritize a relaxation or self-care activity as you're able to. Taking care of yourself will help you function best in your roles. Participate in teletherapy, become more organized, simplify your task list into what is the highest priority, allowing for flexibility. Evaluate who you want to invest your energy in and which all social medias are most rewarding for you. Have a weekly check-in meeting with a friend or family member who is experiencing similar challenge at home. Create a structured but flexible schedule. Have children FaceTime family members and play games. Let go of the idea that things should be the same as they were before pandemic. Use your non-working time for something creative and active. Now, between socializing, parenting, running errands, and working, the coronavirus has significantly altered the way we live our lives. For many people, the public health crisis has meant a sudden shift to remote work environment as officials stress the importance of social distancing. Manage your expectations, communicate your needs, and also something very important which I want to talk about is wondering how to achieve work-life balance. I'll share some quotes of the best work-life balance from influential people which I really liked. We need to be better job of putting ourselves higher on a job to-do list. Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. You can't have everything you want, but you can have the things that really matter to you. Work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. The other four balls, family, health, friends, integrity, are made of glass. If you drop one of these, it will be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, perhaps even shattered. You can't truly be considered successful in your business life if your home life is in shambles. No one on this deathbed ever said, I wish I had spent more time at the office. We think mistakenly that success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work instead of the quality of time we put in. Regret for the things we did not be tempered by time. It is regret for the things we did not do that is inconsolable. When in doubt, choose the kids. There will be plenty of time later to choose work. If you want your children to turn out well, spend twice as much time with them as half as money. Your children get only one childhood. Make it memorable. Children learn to smile from their parents. Spread smile. The key is not spending time, but in investing it. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you are the pilot. Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it on you. Whether it's the best of times or the worst of times, it's the only time we have got. Time is really the only capital that any human being has, and the only thing he can't afford to lose. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Hopefully, I've shared some meaningful work-life quotes with you guys, but then keep moving. Finally, remind yourself that this pandemic will not last forever. And while not everything will go back to the way it was before, many things will. Take another deep breath. Consider the perks of the life you are leading now. Cherish it. Define what's positive for you and the people around you. Spread positivity and mental endurance, which can be enhanced by willingness and acceptance. Be happy, be optimistic, be a learner, be courageous, be stronger, be a fighter, and be resilient. And I bet we all are together in this mission. India will rule the world. तू ना थकेगा कभी, तू ना थमेगा कभी, तू ना मुड़ेगा कभी. कर शपथ, कर शपथ, कर शपथ. अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है. It's like a poetry going on. It's so good. And be energetic. Sherry, wish you have rocked the entire show with your energy level. It's too good. And
Under your mentorship, Manoj sir, I'm just learning from you all.
no, no. And I remember the quote which you were saying it in the deathbed. There were two big instances I can remember where people
Okay.
actually have spoken this on their deathbed. One is Steve Jobs. He regretted the fact that he couldn't spend time, and our own ex Goa chief minister, Mr. Manohar. So both of them regretted the time they could have done, but they said we are alone. So it's awesome. And I'm sure the audience are very eager to ask you a lot of questions. So I would ask the audience to ask one by one. If you can unmute one by one and please ask. It's the stage is yours right now for a question answer.
I would just like to congratulate you. You have immense energy, the way you just kept going. It was a pleasure listening to you.
Who is, I mean,
This is Himanshi.
Acha, Himanshi. Yeah, Himanshi. Thank you so much, Himanshi.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful session. All the words in the dictionary were out here listening to you in just a few minutes. It was very encouraging.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Shelley, it was wonderful.
Wow, thank you so
I
much,
will
Nada.
be very borrow if I said, because I listen Shelley almost every day, and
Yeah.
really, she's amazing. And congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nada, for your everlasting support. I am humbled. Thank you so much, Nada.
Yes, great, awesome
Thank you
speech.
so much, Mr. Akash.
Do we
And
have
thanks for inviting me for this show, Mr. Akash. It's a learning platform by so many master trainers of here, and especially the mentors also. It's my honor. It's my, I'm really humbled to be here.
we all loved your talk. I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
We talk about pandemic and how difficult it was for work-life balance to be done. And, this is very surprisingly, I know a lot of people who were craving that they don't want to travel and want to spend more time with the kids. And maybe God has given them so much time now. बहुत मांग रहे थे ना ले लो, तो अब 1.5 साल से आप घर पे ले लो. So it's a surprising thing. And now I think it's slightly getting fatigued also for a lot of people. So what would you advise right now when relations are slightly strained? People were loving it initially, and now I think it's being a time where people actually want to go back. We were looking at the fact that we need to go back to work, because somewhere I think it's slightly strain coming to the relationship. We initially enjoyed, but I think it's a tough time. So what advice would you give to all the fellow participants here, including me?
Wonderful question, Mr. Manoj. It's quite realistic and quite a practical question, because it is happening not with us. I think it is happening with each and every family members, because we all are humans, and humans are emotional, and we somehow are not able to control the emotions. Because I still remember when, when this pandemic news was glaring from all the news channels worldwide in 2019, but we thought, yes, this is happening in China. Now this is happening in USA. We never imagined that this demon will be traveling all over to India. But then, yes, when in March 2020, it was declared, I guess half of the population of India was not aware of the term lockdown, national lockdown. So it came as a surprise to us, because if we talk about our counterparts, all of them are in the corporate sector, and it is 24/7. They are living the life out of the suitcase, traveling all abroad and here, and then we have to take care of the kids and everything, because we have hardly seen them here at home, only for the couple of hours, but it's normally more or less of traveling. So somehow from these many years, we all had a fixed schedule. Monday to Saturday, it's full-time work. And there was only Sunday, which was a family day out. Either you can call it a shopping, or family meet, or a holiday, or a meeting somewhere. So we had adjusted ourselves to this schedule. But when this pandemic came, when this lockdown came, suddenly the tables turned. Everything was topsy-turvy. And then the new normal was discovered. Stay home, work from home was the best catchphrase, which happened in 2020, I'm talking about. And yes, we all, attuned to it. And I still remember Dr. Manoj Sehgal, that in 2020, when this pandemic was declared, when this national lockdown was there, we all were at home. We all switched over to work from home. But we enjoyed that particular period. Why? Because it was a quality family time with everybody, parents, kiddos, all together. And then each and every individual on this earth tried recipes from the Google, and then transfer it, share it on family groups. This is the breakfast I had prepared. This is the lunch I have prepared. This is the dinner I have prepared. And we were just enjoying it. And to mind it, if we normally say that the family who eats together stays together, that phase was not bad. And then gradually, from 1 month, it shifted to the second month, then it shifted to the, yes, next month, offices will be open. Next month, we all will be going to school and colleges. Next month and next month, but we never realized that 2020 passed away, giving rise to the year 2021. But pandemic, I think the second wave, April, May, I'm talking about April, May 2021, it was at its peak. People enjoyed pandemic in 2020, but 2021 was drastic. And then, yes, you are very much correct. However, I'll say that it was a blessing in disguise, but still, we have come to know of many people who have gone into depression. They really wanted to go back to work. Recession was there. Paying slips were offered. And I'm talking about the children also. They earlier, since this was the new normal, they were enjoying the virtual medium, but now each and everyone is desperate to go to school, colleges, their offices and everything, because no one, we human can't survive in the concrete jungle. 4 walls, 24/7, all laptops, gadgets on. But still, the piece of advice I want to give to everybody is, we still do not know when this pandemic will last, till how long it will last. But the only thing is, we can't change it. It is not in our hand. But the only piece of advice what I want to give is that you have to be very, very optimistic, positive. Take it in your stride, and then pray to God, everything will become normal. Things will come back to its normal shape. We all will be going back to the normal places, but it will take time. But then do not lose hope. Feel motivated, feel encouraged, and sail with the flow of the motion. Do not be depressed, and good days will come, as I have quoted in one of my quotes. And no need of any no depression, no sulking, nothing. And put on a smile on your face, be positive, be optimistic, and look for a brighter future and empowered India. We all are together, at least. We are not all alone. This is not happening with me, this is not happening with you, but this is happening with the entire community. And that's why we all are connected on this global platform. We have the global reach, whether India or international level, we all are all together. And touch wood, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let's sail it together with positivity. Good luck, best wishes to each one of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sehgal.
It was so amazing, and you are filled with so much positivity and was spreading. And I love the quote which you took. It's from one of my favorite movies, Agnipath. So,
Yeah.
एक बार वो लाइनें please, एक बार. Sorry, दिल मांगे मोर.
Okay, दिल मांगे मोर. Okay. तू ना थकेगा कभी, तू ना थमेगा कभी, तू ना मुड़ेगा कभी. कर शपथ, कर शपथ, कर शपथ. अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ. Who, I mean, Amitabh Bachchan, I guess he is everybody's legend, So who can, if you talk about Amitabh Bachchan, Harivansh Rai Bachchan and all, they are our legends, our favorites. And I often, being a literature person, I often read.
Thank you so much. It was
Ellie,
so
can you
awesome. It's
can you
so
translate it to us?
Oh, Nada, you want the translation? Oh, definitely. I will give you an exact translation because Nada is a special person, Okay. You should never feel tired. You should never stop. And you should never look back to life. You have to take the pledge today that this is my life. I will move ahead. I will move ahead. I will move ahead. And you have to make this promise to the entire community that I will not get back. This is never die attitude. Being an Indian, I'm proud of myself that yes, I have this attitude. Whatever challenges come on my way, I will accept it. And this is the message why I ended my speech on this particular quote, because I want to end it on a positive note for all my Indians, for all my country brothers and sisters over here. Why to cry? Why to cry on this? Doesn't matter if we have lost the jobs, doesn't matter if there is a pay cut, doesn't matter if there is a recession. So what? The world is not going to end. Be connected together, have positive spirits, you have to have that faith and zeal. Nada, you and all, everybody, I'm not talking about India, I'm talking about the worldwide, everybody will be successful if the goal is same. Everybody will be successful, and this demon, this pandemic will be no more. We have to kill it, and we have to kill it with our positivity. I hope, Nada, it is clear to you.
Yes,
It's a
thank
brilliant
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's a brilliant
Shelly.
translation, and I'm sure it's only a literature teacher who could have done it so well. And thank you so much with so much energy. We literally loved you. You were always welcome to be on the stage, but it was so full energy. You set up so high benchmarks for the next speaker to coming in. And Sanjeevni, another friend of mine who's joining you right now, please introduce her. Another powerhouse in the making.
Thank you so much, Manoj sir, and thank you so much, Shelly ma'am. This is the kind of positivity and motivation that we all needed at this point of time. So thank you so much for that. And so now moving on, I would now like to have Ms. Himanshi Awal with us. So Himanshi ma'am is a communication development coach and a facilitator in behavioral enhancement programs, and she specializes in working with career professionals in their mindset transformation to grow their personal and professional life. She also works as a personal branding coach and a consultant, and she has developed various courses and workshops to help people take their brands visibility to on Instagram a notch higher. She is a writer, a budding author, multiple brand auditor, and a soon to be dating and relationship coach. So can we please welcome Himanshi ma'am with us today?
Thank you for your introduction. I see that you have read it word to word, so thanks a lot for not missing any part of it. Okay, so Shelly ma'am, after your powerful speech, thanks a lot that it's my turn after such energetic person. You answering these questions, in the end, you've actually paved the way for my topic. My topic for today is resilience. I am going to be discussing about this not just from a leader's point of view, but because we've already established the fact in the last 2 days that everybody is a leader if they choose to be. That means all of us are leaders. So I'm going to be discussing about this topic from a person's point of view. So before I start, I would like everybody to watch a short video. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Yeah. Can everybody see my screen? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I just want, I'm going to play this video and then we'll start. Okay. So before I dive into the subject, if we can just quickly do a small chat storm. Chat storm means if you can just share your points, what you actually saw in the video, what you understood from the video. If you can just share some points, anybody and everybody is welcome. If we can just share what we observed in the video, that's all.
Everyone, if you can put it on the chat box.
Yes, Akash, the video had no voice or any dialogues. Okay, so Helen is saying there is persistence. All right. Try again, never give up, practice. Okay. Sorry, say that again. Never give up. Okay. So what we are trying to do here is by watching the video, we're just trying to understand what persistence is. Deepak is saying he tried many times and finally he found his answer. Okay. So before I continue further, I have one more video for all of us to watch. Okay. And then we'll get into it. Okay. Let me share my screen again. In this video has dialogues. So in case you're not able to hear, Akash, let me know. And then you share the video, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, is my screen visible? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear the sound?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So that was a short video for all of us. Okay. So with that, I would like to introduce my topic. It's called resilience. It is one of the very important aspects of leadership. And when I say leadership, I don't mean it only in professional matters. I mean, we being a leader in our personal lives. Okay. So let's quickly try to understand what exactly is resilience. Okay. What the videos both of us showed is that it is one step ahead probably from being determined, one step ahead of being persistent as well. So I have a small poll for all of us. Okay. I'm going to share my screen with all of you. If everybody can go on menti.com, there's a small poll that I've created for all of us just to see, do we understand what we understand from resilience? Okay, just give me 1 second. Where is my presentation? Okay, here. Standard, all right. Okay, is my screen visible to everybody? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So if we can all go to menti.com and just go to menti.com on your phones or on your laptop and just type in this code 58778306. My session, I'm making all of you do some work, watch videos and do this poll. But yeah, that's how I wanted to conduct this understanding. So if you can just go to menti.com, type in this code 5877, you will see something like this. I'll share that with you. What you will exactly see, you will see a screen which has a question for all of you. So it says here, after watching the video, what do you think resilience is? Does everybody see the screen on your screens? If you can just put in your answers after watching both the videos, what do you think resilience means in your life? If anybody is finding it hard to put their answers here, not a problem. You can put your answers in the chat window. Okay, so Pragnya is saying consistency is what she understands with from resilience. That's fine. Guys, if you're finding it hard to fill in your answers on this, let me know. I can stop sharing and we can put our answers in the chat window. Okay, unwavering comment to vision focus. Okay. Okay, once I get your answers, I'll probably read out to everybody what answers we've got on the screen there on my Mentimeter. But for now, let's continue. So, the topic I chose as resilience is basically, when we talk about leadership, last 2 days we've been discussing different aspects and different facets of leadership, right? A lot of times we keep thinking or we keep talking about that a leader is somebody who has to continue to lead his or her people, right? In the face of adversity, in the face of any kind of difficulties, never give up, right, Deepak? So what we are trying to understand is that, say, for example, you start off a task with that determined attitude that I will not give up, which is something most people start off with. But how many of us actually feel, a setback and we actually give up the first big problem that we face? Some people give up within the first big problem. Some people still continue, right? Maybe they try to look for new strategies or new ways of finding out, what they can do better, right? And they still continue. But what if another adversity comes your way? Things don't go as per the plan that we had. People don't support us, or the project itself gets cancelled. How do we make sure that we keep that positive attitude? How do we make sure that I am keeping myself in the true position of a leader, right? So we say that, yes, I am determined. Yes, I will not give up. But what happens when one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe several adversities come our way? How many of us give up? How many of us stopped chasing that dream in our career that we wanted because we just thought, let me just take what best is available right now? How many of us felt, dejected if you were rejected by somebody that you liked, or you did not get the job of your choice, or you were not able to accomplish a task or a project or some goal that you had, right? So determination is a good thing. Persistence is another good thing, but resilience is what will keep us going. Shashi is saying, I will either find a way or create one. Absolutely correct. Pari is saying the ability of not giving up even after failures. Failure after failure, failure after failure, I will maybe change my ways. Maybe I will, upgrade my skills. I will probably look for another strategy, but I will not give up. That is what is resilience. But also, resilience goes one step ahead. It says the ability of a substance or an object or a human to spring back into shape, no matter how many adversities, tragedies, problems, rejections we face, we still don't give up. We still keep going, maybe with new energy, maybe with new people, maybe with new strategies. That is what is resilience. So it goes one step ahead of persistence and determination. Okay. So with that, who can have this skill? Can you have this skill? Can I have this skill? Can anybody develop this quality within themselves? Can everybody, anyone and everyone have this skill? Maybe. We all can if we believe and if we work towards it. And we don't just work towards it, we work towards it consistently, no matter what. Determination, persistence, and resilience. All right. What that takes me to the step is, what do resilient people look like? Do they have a specific look? Do they come from a certain part of society? Were they born with resilience as a talent within themselves, as a quality within themselves? Anybody and everybody can be a resilient person. So what do resilient people look like? They look exactly what they want to choose to look like. So that brings me to the next point. What are the secrets of resilient people? How are these people able to perform their best in the most difficult of times as well? There's multiple secrets of resilient people, but I've chosen here 3 for us to look at. They are accountable people. Now, accountability means, yes, I am responsible for my part of the job, but I'm accountable as well. If I was responsible, I have to be accountable, which means if things go well, I take care of my entire team or other people involved. But if things don't go well, I also need to look into my part of the thing maybe not going wrong. They don't blame others when things go wrong. It's very easy to blame other people. It is very easy to find loopholes or weaknesses maybe in the plan or in other people. But accountability means resilient people, they will have a healthy self of responsibility and ability to logically solve issues if it concerns them directly or if it does not concern them directly. But if they were involved, they will be accountable all throughout. They are also accepting people. Accepting people means they accept the good results that they get, but they also accept when things don't go as per plan, when they come short of whatever was expected of them. They accept others for what they are without finding blames, as we've discussed. They are also under no misunderstanding. They are under complete pure understanding that they are not perfect, they are not limitless, they understand their weaknesses as well, and they try to adapt to situations as per whatever their strength is, whatever their weakness is, and whatever they can do to minimize the problems. Also, resilient people are open communicators, which means they will ask. They will not shy away from asking, be it for clarity, for asking for help. They do not feel the fear that in case they ask, they will come across as somebody who is not intelligent enough, or they will not come across as somebody who was, absent-minded, or they were not listening. If they are not clear about something, they will ask. Also, they will not compare themselves with others. With what that means is, I am good at something, you are good at something else, right? If I did not understand something, I will probably ask you. That makes me a stronger team player and not somebody weaker. So resilient people have a lot of secrets, but these are the top 3 that every resilient person will have. Then let's look at how can I figure out whether one person is resilient or whether I can be a resilient person. So there are multiple predictors of resilience. Here I chose to discuss these 8. The first one is composure. Composure means, especially in the face of adversity, things that probably did not go my way or the way we had planned, right? Or somebody did not agree with us, or we felt bad because of something happened or somebody said. They will still keep a calm composure. They will still stay calm, cool, collected, and they will analyze the entire situation for its merits and demerits. So they will not jump into reaction. They will look at the whole situation before they respond. Resilient people are visionary people, as a lot of my mentors before here have discussed. They are able to look at the bigger picture. So they understand that when we are looking at the bigger picture, when we are trying to achieve bigger goals, which is the last point here, focus on goals, they do understand that things sometimes will not go there the way they were planned to go. People will make changes or people might back out, but they always focus on their goals and they have a clear vision of where they want to go, irrespective of how many times they have to keep trying. Tenacity. Tenacity again means the ability to hold on, being persistent, right? Reasoning and awareness. What that means is, resilient people are actually very self-aware people, right? Which means they know how things happen or how things can happen. And when people behave in certain ways, they do have that understanding of being in the other person's shoes to understand why the other person may have done certain things the way they did. So they are able to look at things in a more logical and reasonable manner, and therefore they are aware of not just their feelings but the feelings of others and the overall situation. Then comes the next point, collaboration. Now, a lot of people say that they are team players, their team is a very highly bonded team, but collaboration is a little higher than that. Collaboration means where I am always looking at a win-win situation, where I win, where you win. So I do not win at the cost of your loss, or you do not win at my cost. We are both in a way collaborating, where we are both able to achieve success at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the task. So we are able to collaborate. I am able to look at things from your point of view and probably help you. And even if I do not get that from you in return, which is fine. Collaboration means I am able to give. Yes, a lot of us would expect to get as well, but Collaboration in its true essence, what it means is I'm able to give you what we require because I have the bigger vision in my mind right now. You give me something back in return right now, or maybe some other time, that is absolutely fine. But I am collaborating because I want to look at the bigger picture. My focus is on goal. Then comes health. Health in multiple terms. Health could be mental health, can be physical health, can be emotional health. We will always note people who are high on positive energy, people who are high on their emotional intelligence, their health overall is in the green. They are mentally, emotionally, physically, overall healthy people. They do not let small setbacks or things that, made them feel bad stay in their mind for a very long time. So they are healthy people overall. And all of this means that my self-love, my love for myself, my confidence in my ability to see things beyond what is the myopic vision right now. If I have that, that will make me a highly resilient person. Again, all of these points together go into developing that mindset that come what may, I am going to achieve my goal. Then it brings us to what are the principles of resilience. How can I build resilience? Most important. So far, we've understood what are the secrets of resilient people, what do they look like, what skills do they have. But now that I've understood that I would like to be a resilient person, or maybe I am a resilient person, let's do a quick check what we can do or what we can continue to do to make sure that we are building our resilience all the time. The first point that came to my mind looking at different leaders across is they have the habit of cultivating a strong belief in their ability to cope. Cope means whatever the situations are, right? I will be able to manage it. If I have to take help from other people, if I have to ask for help, if I have to ask for clarity, if I need other resources, absolutely fine. But I will cultivate a strong belief within myself that I have the ability to cope. Second is they have sources of support in the form of colleagues, in the form of family, in the form of friends. They have good relationships with people. They have a network of people who work as their support system. So they talk, they ask, they share, they talk about whatever they are going through. They have the ability to trust people for whatever the other person is good at. So I might be able to trust you with maybe say some of my work issues because I have seen that you do a good job at helping me in those situations. I might have another support system in the form of family where I can share maybe that, okay, I had not such a great day, but this is what happened. Tell me how to cope with it. Connected sources of support will only work for us when we are able to share what we are going through, good, bad, ugly, all of that. Then we are not, resilient people are not just people who are always asking for help or connecting to their resources or their support system only when they want help. They are people who are proactively helpful to others. They are openly helpful to others. Say, for example, in a group, in a WhatsApp group or in any group, two people ask for some kind of help, right? And I am able to help them, right? So my resilience will be tested only if I make the effort to go and help them. If, of course, I have the time that I can help them and I know how to help them. Instead of somebody who will be like, oh, I don't need to help them. I mean, I can help them, but I don't need to help them because there are so many other people who can help them in the group and they've not even asked me. A resilient person will be a proactive person and they will want to help. So they have that ability of giving. Then they are able to activate positive emotions. What that means is resilient people also go through negative emotions. They are people who are actually in touch with their emotions, their feelings, their thoughts. But they're able to activate positive emotions because they are able to look for meaning in their hardships. They're able to look for the reason why something bad might have happened. They are able to also look at the good in the bad. Something that looks bad to me right now probably is not bad. Probably it is just something I am not aware of, right? So for me to increase my awareness, I would need to understand why this thing happened, right? And when it happens next time, what can I do better to change my circumstances, to change my situation? Then they cultivate an attitude of survivorship. What that means is they do not look at themselves or others like a victim. They look at others, they look at everybody like a survivor. And that will only happen when we can understand the meaning and the learning from our hardships. And all of this can actually come in if we are practicing gratitude, which means look at all the good things that we take for granted, which are around us. When I can start looking at the good things in my day, probably their number will outnumber something that was not so good, something that did not go my way. So practicing gratitude is actually one of the principles that resilient people follow. And if we are able to follow all of these, we will be able to develop resilience within ourselves. Going forward, I just want to end my speech with this by Eleanor Roosevelt. She says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Thank you. Any questions, please? The forum is all yours. Please ask me any questions that you would have.
Superbly spoken, Himanshi. Awesome,
Thank
really
you.
awesome. I love the 8 things which you said, and one of the favorite which I was reading a book of Jeff Bezos is the word when they use tenacity. So amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. It was so lovely listening to you. And we can have one question from an audience if you have any, please. If you
Yes,
can
if
raise.
anybody wants to share or ask anything, please shoot it at me.
I just wanted to compliment you, Himanshi, because I was not aware of resilience and you have given me the meaning of that. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad I was able to help you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm Helen.
Hi,
Hi.
Helen.
Hi. I just thought like resilience is like elasticity, being flexible, bounce back. And now I have a new world of meaning. So thank you for the session.
You're welcome. No questions? Seriously?
It's a new topic now, so we are all learning.
Okay.
We have questions.
Okay.
But if you
Yeah,
have
I believe that, most of us are resilient people. It's just, these are just different levels. We could be determined people, we could be persistent people, we could be resilient people. These are just different levels of the same emotion or the same quality that we have. It
I
is
think-
just how much passion do I have to get what I want to get and the reason I want to get it. And that will decide whatever level we are on.
Yeah, one thought which came to my mind was speaking as the people who commit suicide, so they just commit suicide. Will that be true? Because that thought just came to my mind when you were.
Sorry, say that question. What people who commit suicide? I missed the first part.
Though people who are not resilient, they are unable to bounce back. So they just think they are doomed and then they commit suicide. Will that be?
That's actually this is those are people who are probably have that myopic point of view where they are not able to look beyond what happened to them in that particular situation. People who commit suicide, there's multiple emotions and there's multiple thought processes that are going around this concept. Resilience is just one of them. They may not even have thought of the resilience part.
Yeah, that's what.
They might be in their mind be determined people, but they are also highly emotional people in the sense that their emotions control them. Being an emotional person is actually a very good thing. The way we live in this world, people think that if you're an emotional person, that's a bad thing. But actually, if you are able to manage your emotions, being an emotional person is actually much better than somebody who is not in touch with their emotions. So when our emotions control us, that's when we become slave to the negative aspects of our emotion. and a very higher level of depression or higher level of negative emotion will lead somebody to that part.
Thank you so much, Himanshi. It was
Yeah.
lovely. And
One last question.
Sir, I would allow you to ask a question a bit later, sir. There were
Okay, no
the
problem.
speakers
You
coming
can
from.
ask me in the chat also. Let the next speaker come in, but you can ask me in chat.
Sanjeevi, the four speakers ready. We have a speaker now from outside India, all eager to come in. Sanjeevi, you need to introduce her, please.
Okay, so we have our international speaker for the day now. Her name is Miss Afroza Akhtar Tina, and she has come all the way from Bangladesh. So Miss Afroza Akhtar Tina is a senior lecturer in the Department of English in Daffodil International University and an advanced TESOL practitioner as well. So welcome, Mr. Afroza Akhtar Tina, and you may please proceed now. Ma'am, are you there with us? Okay.
She started a screen share.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. First of all, I'd like to thank this huge platform, International Business Transformation Summit, ABCD International, and more specifically, Mr. Akash and the entire team for, helping me out to get this wonderful platform to share my ideas with the teachers, practitioners worldwide. So thank you so much. And as you can see, I have started my screen sharing. I don't know whether it's visible or not. Is my screen visible?
Visible.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, as you can see that today I would focus on virtual leadership skills. And more specifically, why these skills are important to sustain in the post-COVID era, or why we are looking actually for these virtual leadership skills today. So as you know that I teach at Daffodil International University, and I'm also a certified advanced TESOL practitioner, and I'm also an e-teacher alumna of the US Department of State, Dhaka, Bangladesh. And to start the presentation, definitely, I would like to address coronavirus at the beginning, because this is the main issue now. And yes, of course, it has shaken the nature of work. It has shaken the nature of work to its core. But still, there are some people who are waiting to return to normal, even without knowing actually what this normal would be in future. But still, anxiously, some people are waiting to return to that, earlier normal maybe. But what's normal after the pandemic is likely to look very different from what we were used to before it began. So obviously we can term this normal, which we are looking for at this moment after this COVID, maybe we can term that as new normal. Now, how companies can or are adapting in this new normal, or what actually are their strategies to look forward when we think of a situation after the, COVID. Now, during the crisis, we see an accelerated adoption of smart work, specifically in remote places, while traveling, virtual meetings. And yes, the smart work will be the standard across organizations in the new normal, smart work. And also most companies implement effective measures to bring health and hygiene to the next level. So here, this is also an interesting and important point, to bring together both health and hygiene. And in this new reality, of course, both the physical and mental health of the employees will be organizational cornerstones, both physical and mental health. And of course, during the crisis, organizations do a lot to mitigate people risk. But in this new reality, a new paradigm for skills and talent definitely will emerge. I believe that we all have been working even throughout this pandemic. Since 2020, we have been observing that, yes, we are looking for new paradigms. And we try to manage workforce flexibility. So in the new now, we definitely will have a flexible workforce. And we communicate openly with empathy when we think of the new normal, when we think of the post-COVID era. Leadership will come from the head, heart, and hands, maybe. Well, this is important in my discussion, that leadership will come from the head, heart, and hands. Now, later I will explain that, of course. But before that, let us see that how organizations actually endeavor to stand together. Well, yes, of course, they endeavor to stand together with employees and society. And this momentum will lead to purpose-driven culture. And yes, of course, for this, we need digital readiness, digital skills. So the bionic organization will emerge, obviously, with some new operating models. So we'll have to think also that, well, maybe we will get some very interesting, totally new, totally innovative operating models in future. And obviously robust digital backbone. And we all know that there are certain traits of a good leader, certain traits of a good leader. For example, they inspire, motivate the others. They display high integrity and honesty. They display professional or technical expertise. They drive for results. They communicate powerfully. They build relationships. They develop others and lots of other things. Well, apart from all these, well, if we think of the distinct modes of leadership, there are two actually, face-to-face and virtual. Now, in virtual, well, obviously, we think of, some specific goals and reaching those goals, and then monitoring progress, driving information sharing, sustaining connections among colleagues, and also some other things. But when we think of face-to-face collaboration, well, obviously, periodically when teams come together in true collaboration, we can think of a situation, we can term this as one of the distinct modes of leadership, where the leaders need to operate in, foster deep learning, innovation, but face-to-face, of course. Now, when I mention that, well, the leadership should come through the head, heart, and hands, well, why actually it's important? To hone actually the employee skills, well, the empathy and ability to adopt, well, obviously leaders require these three elements. Now with head, I refer to the envision of the future, the priorities that are needed to succeed in future, specifically in the post-COVID era. And the next point is the heart, to inspire and empower the employees from the heart. And finally, the hands. Why? To ensure innovative and agile execution capabilities. So we can't ignore anything, neither head nor heart. And of course, we never can ignore the hands. Now, if we explain a little more the head, the lesson for the new now is very, very clear. Powerful vision that will help people thrive in their work. Very, very powerful vision. So yes, not only at disruptive technology startups that routinely set their sights on changing the world, but at businesses everywhere. So yes, this is important. We need to think of this shifting environment where obviously there should be some specific visions, targets, goals, objectives, and then of course, moving towards them. Now, when I mention heart, what do I mean by this actually? Well, here the focus is on empathy of the employees, which helps to build strong and very, very, important relationships between local and remote workers and with employees, employers. And yes, motivation is something which is very, very important to hear. maybe we
Request
can.
everyone to please keep yourself on mute, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So empathy is something which comes from the heart. And here actually motivation is a very, very important word that has a connection directly with this empathy. And now it's time to create more empathetic culture. We can't ignore that without empathy, it's going to be very, very difficult if we think of, an effective workplace in each and every businesses worldwide. And yes, a culture is credible only if it lives up to its promise through good and bad times alike. So now it's not that very good time. We all know this, but still we are continuing. We have that motivation to continue. And everyone actually is focusing on all the skills. Everyone is trying to redesign, reshape, and try to be personally and professionally skilled and motivated when they think of the post-COVID era. And finally, the hands. And what do I mean by this? If I have to explain this, well, the focus is on the companies that had not previously found good solutions to the challenges of dispersed workforces. But now, they have come up with much greater incentives. So that is the positive thing. And the challenge for leaders in the new normal or the new now is not only to give directions actually, but also to provide that kind of, autonomy. I mean, creating that autonomous learning environment is important, and focusing on the outcomes. So we need actually outcomes. We need to see whether this will be effective or not. And we need to, exercise and think of the actions, not on the, quantity. How much actually can I work? How much load can I take? Rather, actually, what can I give actually? What will be the outcome that actually I have been investing? And especially as work continues to become more flexible and distributed. Now, when these three things come together, both hands, heart, and head, so what will be the benefit? The benefits of combining all these together definitely will focus on developing practical leadership skills, along with deep empathy. And the effort requires hard to justify. Well, obviously, our work with clients suggests that the numbers speak for themselves. We all know this. But companies that are bringing together these days the head, heart, and hands, they are seeing gainers these days. They're seeing gains even in this turbulent time, while also building their competitive advantage for the future. So yes, of course, there are a lot of benefits regarding this. And now it is the right time to focus, to rethink, redesign, reshape, and rethink about how we can, come up with our employers, with the employees, of course, and to create a meaningful, effective workplace everywhere. So that was all from my part. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for hearing me. Now, if you have any questions.
Wow, it was awesome. It was awesome. All the speakers today have spoken so well, and this is an amazing, amazing PPT. I'm watching it. I'm feeling so overwhelmed today by looking at so highly good speakers. Audience, thank you so much. As I also mentioned in the chat, we would have time for only one question per speaker, but if time permits, at the end of the day, we can ask speakers more questions if they are there at the end. So can I have one question from the audience, please?
Yeah, Helen, I would like to know whether there any research has been done, and is there anything which is positive or any negative about this doing everything virtually from education, because children who are going to school even 3 years, they are online now, and people who are going to retire, who don't know the communication, who don't use these laptops and all, have to struggle virtually. So is there any research done, and is there anything positive or negative which you can share with us? It will be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. There have been a lot of research projects. I believe that if I don't know whether you are a teacher or an educator or not, but if you are, obviously, I believe that you have seen that since 2020, the research topics also have changed. Suddenly the research topics have also changed, because before 2020 I can never think of a situation where I would do a research on how can I cope, within this new normal, or what would be the strategies as a teacher, to cope with the students, or to engage students online in the classroom, also outside the classroom. So you can understand actually that the ideas have changed. We have shifted from face to face to digital, online. And yes, there are a lot of research projects which focus on the idea that even if we are thinking that someday we will actually be normal, probably like before 2020, still we have a lot of questions. We will have to face a lot of challenges, because 2-3 days ago when we had a meeting in our university, this is from my practical experience I'm sharing with all of you today. Well, one of the senior authorities has asked a very important question, and we were all totally surprised. He suddenly asked all the teachers that, well, sirs and ma'ams, will you be able to stand in front of the class for 1.5 hours when we will be, physical, probably in September or October or in November? So, well, after listening to that question, we actually were thinking, yes, I believe it will be a little difficult for us to stand in front of the students for 1 hour and 30 minutes, which was very normal, before 2020, before the pandemic, before this Corona situation. So yes, the shift is there, the focus has changed, but now it's our turn. Now it's our turn. We need actually to develop ourselves such way so that yes, all the students, all the learners, they should be engaged online. I believe if we have that capability, the learners will be engaged online. They will have that kind of motivation to be in the class with the laptop or with the digital device, of course.
Absolutely brilliantly spoken. This is always an advantage with the English teacher. They speak so well with the beautiful, meticulous language.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As has been the sequence for the past 2 days, we talk about leaderships in terms of stages 1, 2, 3, 4, and the biggest one comes at the end when we take a case study of one of the business leaders we all admire. We come to the stage 5 right now, the first speaker of the day. And Sanjeevni, it's your honor to introduce the speaker of the day at the end.
Okay. Thank you so much, Manoj sir. And so, last but definitely not the least, we have Mrs. Neetu Gerard with us. So, Mrs. Neetu Gerard is a postgraduate in commerce. She has also worked in the banking industry for 3 years before she got married and took a break. So, but today she is an entrepreneur and runs her business for homes and personal loans for major banks in India. So, welcome, ma'am. Over to you now.
Thank you, Sanjeevni. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Manoj sir. Good evening, Akashi. Good evening, and thank you so much, ABCD International. Today, actually, I'm just sitting here to listen everything. Means from starting when Ma'am Shelly ma'am, both ma'am, and then Himanshi and Tina ma'am spoke about leadership. So I think from last 2 days, we are talking about leadership. So today I'm going to present about a leader. He's the best leader I can tell, and he covered all the points what we discussed from last 2 days. So let me start with my presentation. So today I'm going to present a case study of Mr. Premji. So Azim Premji, or we can say that a king of kingdom Wipro, as you all know about Mr. Premji. So Mr. Premji is a person which I study that, who cover all the qualities which we already discussed from last 2 days, who cover all means all the achievements which a leader should be there. So if we can go with Mr. Premji. A leader was born on 24 July 1945 in Mumbai. Mr. Premji, we called as a business tycoon, investor, engineer, and a film star. So he was a Wipro chairman. Mr. Premji is always think about the others. So we call him as a philanthropist. He is a person who built a Wipro as a big hub country, hub IT industry. Mr. Premji is responsible for guiding Wipro through last 4 decades. From last 40 years, he is guiding a Wipro, and now you can see where the Wipro is stand. He emerged as one of the global leaders in the software industry. Currently, the second richest person in India. If we can count, it's a roughly net worth $9.4 billion, which is quite high. Mr. Premji married to Jasmine Premji, and they have two sons. One is Rishad Premji and the other is Tariq. Rishad Premji we can discuss later. Now he is chairman of Wipro. As we all know that Mr. Premji, Azim Premji already retired from their Wipro. So first we can talk about the early education and career. So initial education, Mr. Premji get their initial education from St. Mary's School, Mumbai. He has a bachelor degree, electrical engineer degree from Central University, California, USA. So this is from the university, we can think how big that guy is, because that university is very big. So when he started his career, it's actually he is selected for the next degree. But in 1966, when his father has died due to death of his father, he has to quit from that particular university and return back to Mumbai to take over his family business. The Western Indian Vegetable Products Limited, later we become Wipro Limited. Earlier, Wipro deal in hydrogenated oil manufacturing, but after Premji enter in this field, diversify it to the bakery fats and the daily soaps, lightning, and etc. So if recognizing the importance of emerging IT field, Premji has focused on shifting from soap to software. So if we can talk about the vision, we already talk about the vision. We can see here, because the company is, which his father is doing that vegetable products, edible oils, but Premji has a broader vision, so he can see that where the world is going to be enter and where the world is going to be do wonders in that field. So he enters in 1980 in the IT field. IT field. Now, if we can check now, the Wipro is, I think, the biggest company in IT. So after the explosion of IBM from India, the IBM is the first one who is making the computers. But after in 1980s, when IBM is explosion that computers from India manufacturing, that time Mr. Azim Premji entered with the collaboration with an American company who is still making computers, Senitel computers, which is a very big company, and they start making that computers with that company. So the net worth, $1.5 million company, hydrogenated cooking fats, which after entering the Premji, it goes over to $6 billion. So it's a huge jump by Premji. So he also become the world first to win PCMM level 5, which we call People Capability Maturity Level certification. They are given this certification for the quality of standards. So if we can go with the flow and we check, Premji, when he enter in this IT company, he start their career and thinking that he has to come out from his family business and he has to do something big. So Mr. Premji is a Wipro, a company awarded as a most ethical company for the last 10 continuous years. So it's a big achievement for Premji. Premji is always, I already told that he's an ethical company. So he always work in a company for the ethics. So he never compromise their ethics in that company. So company is awarded, Mr. Premji was awarded as a biggest award, Padma Bhushan in 2005. And this is not the end. So I pick up a few of the awards from that points, because it's not possible to explain each and everything. So this is the biggest award. After in 2005, Premji get that the award of Padma Vibhushan in 2011. So after this success, the industry also recognized Premji, and one of the most famous, one or two most famous magazines like Business Week and Indian Today, they also listed as a great entrepreneur. And in Today magazine, it ranked at the 9th position. So it's a big achievement for Premji. Premji also received All India Management Association Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019. Mr. Premji, there is some recognitions which we are discussing, that Premji are doing this and that. We can't say that he's a businessman who is sitting there to earn money. He's a person who we already discussed that he's a philanthropist. So he is a person who is ready to do work, something for the society also. So he found a foundation of Mr. Azim Premji Foundation, which is non-organization in 2001. So in this foundation, he has a vision to achieve a quality of education. So Mr. Premji knows that the country, if the country is only we can see that it developed if their persons, their peoples, their all these guys are educated. So he always focus on that quality education. In 2010, he pledged to donate $2 billion for improving the school education. So this is also a big part of the big part to donate. It's I think everybody is not able to do this. And in 2000, it's not end to donating. The next in 2019, Premji placed additional 34% of his Wipro stock by him to the foundation. So he also, so this is the list, means it's whatever he's doing, it's a started list. So it's a not end. So again, he transferred around more than 200 million equity shares of Wipro as a Wipro to the foundation. So this is the largest donation of kind in India. The foundation is committed rupees more than 2,000 crore for tackling the pandemic. As we all are facing that corona, the COVID, which we call COVID, corona, they already attack in, means we all are suffering a lot from last 2 years. So that time, Premji is a leader. He come front and he started his one of the main office in Pune. So Wipro company in Pune, he converted that office into a COVID hospital, where he has contributed over 10,000 oxygenated beds, 1,000 ICU beds, oxygen generation concentrated, and so on, which we can see that it's a big achievement, and the country and the world is suffering from this pandemic. So this time, Mr. Premji come in front, as we already spoke, that the leader is always first. So he is the first person who took the decision, and he start that development for fighting the corona. So we all together, we always say that together we can fight with this corona pandemic. So this foundation is also providing, there is a Azim Premji University. With this Azim Premji University is a foundation where they are providing education to different streams persons. It's not a regional wise, it's not a caste wise. As a Premji belongs to Muslim family, but he is, first of all, he always said, I am an Indian first, then a Muslim. So he is always, I told you, he's always ready to help in education, quality education. So this university is providing some MA education, the candidate who want their bachelor degrees in any streams. So they are providing also that. There is a diploma who provide by this university, that to disability persons, disability childrens, and which is very, very important, because nowadays there are lots of schools who are providing a diploma courses, degree courses, and so on. So, but these disabled persons are cut from the world. They are the person who always think that they are not equal to us. So that time also, the Premji University is also providing a diploma to these type of persons also. The university also providing a diploma, that education degree or diplomas to the teacher, who can take their education diploma and they can then shift it to the remote areas where they can go and teach the others and to improve the quality. So as he always stress on that, the education. So this is a very big achievement. So Premji is not doing only in IT. We can say that he is doing education, the poor person he's helping, he's sending to the, because that the next slide, like you can see that the Premji, Azim Premji University was established in 2010 in Karnataka. So this university is biggest university in Karnataka, and this university is providing a different courses to different persons, to different region persons. As I told, there is no comparison between the age, we can say that we provide the education. So the motto of university is work towards as a just, equitable, humane, and sustainable. As the motto, you can see that first, equitable. Everything, the education is for everyone. There is no a poor, no a rich. So what if some poor families, they are not able to take the education, like some kids from poor families, so Mr. Premji always help them, and the university also providing 50% waiver their fees also if they are from lower families. The university also offer undergraduate and graduate courses in the education and development. This is not the only points. The research and project also to obtain and honor the degree courses. Mr. Premji, there as a mentor. Mr. Premji said that being a rich did not thrill him. So he is a philanthropist. He said that if you have a money, you have to spend and you have to help the privileges, those who want that money, those who are not able to stand because of less money. So the money will not thrill me. He always confront in every field, because it is also a very big thing from a small vegetable oil company to come a biggest IT hub. So it's a big achievement. So I can say that he always think and he always tell that rich did not thrill me. Become the first Indian to sign up for the Giving Pledge. Mr. Premji, there is a one more thing which strongly we can discuss, that it's a Mr. Premji is the first one who signed the first Indian, actually is the first Indian who signed up the Giving Pledge as a campaign led by Warren Buffett and the Bill Gates. And you all know these both persons are the world's richest and wealthiest persons. So he also signed that pledge that he has to he has to give some percentage, which we already talked, that 34% of their shares and money also. So he always come in front of that. According to Premji, I strongly believe that those of us, which I already told, who are privileged to wealth, could be contribute significantly to try and create a better world for the millions who are far less. So same thing that he always stress, he always come with this speech that if you have money, you have to come first and you have to help them, those who want that time. Mr. Premji retired in 2019. He took retirement. So when he took retirement, everybody in Wipro, it's not in Wipro, in all over, think that he retired. So what happened to company? So is that the company will come down because he's a very experienced guy, and he knows the world better. So next, Mr. Premji retired on July 30th, 2019 as the Executive Chairman and Managing Committee of Wipro. So after retirement, when everybody is talking and gossiping about that now Wipro, even some employees also, they are talking now Premji is not there. Now what next? Because Premji passed the baton off over to his son, Rishad Premji, his elder son. Premji will continue to serve on the board of Wipro as non-executive director and founder chairman. So after taking this the title of chairman, Mr. Rishad Premji, he also is very inspired from his father. So he already changed some of their managing directors also. They changed their CEO, the new CEO, Mr. Theri. So after this changement, Rishad is always following his father's path. He come in front of the peoples and they said, please make trust on us. What my father has done, I have to do more than him, and please trust on us. So when he changed all these things, that time, after his chairmanship, the company, if you are dealing in stock exchange, you just go and check. The share of, I think Wipro is around 250 or 200 on that time. But after his chairmanship of this Rishad Premji, the share prices goes to more than 600. So he is also very happy that whatever his father has done, so he is creating a move. So because as a younger, and he is also a little nervous to join this company, but he is following his father's path, and he knows what his father done and what he has to be do for the more. He will be next, he will be taking his time for philanthropic activities post-retirement. So post-retirement, Mr. Premji is not sitting at home. He is always out for improve the things which he country wants to be. So we can't say that if nowadays we think that now we are retired, we can go, if he want to, he can go some hill station and take a bungalow and he can stay there, but not. He is still doing non-profitable activities, and there is more, we can say, lesson, like the Premji is falling. We already discussed from last 2 days. My all speaker friends, they told about that what are the important roles, what are the qualities. So if I can tell you these 8 or 9 points which I already pick up from, few of them I told you I pick up. So if we can say that all points whatever we discuss before, it's covered in Premji's character. So some first off is be careful to ask what you want, you may get it. So what I think that Mr. Premji is follower of secret book. If you guys know about the secret, it's a law of attraction. Whatever you think, it will come to you. So I think he is always follow that, and he said, you just be careful what you are thinking. What you are visionary, what you are, what is your dream. So be careful. If you think good, it will come to you good. So that is the main book of secret book. If you guys have read, it's a very nice book. I think he's a follower of secret, but I like to read, and I'm also a follower of secret. So that's why I said. Second, respond, not react. Mr. Premji always said that we have to respond. We have to respond everything, right? But it's not necessary to We react for everything. So there is a difference between respond and react. Respond when you are telling something. If somebody is asking, you have to make them explain very calmly, patiently, and clear that doubts. React is you are not come with the anger, because when you are in this field, it's not easy job for Premji also to join this business. He is from the small family business. Now in IT hub, we can see that there is a lot of competitors for Premji. So lot of people there. हम लोग कहते हैं ना, जितने लोग जितने मुंह उतनी बातें. So Premji also, I think, faced this thing. So he said that everybody is come to us and ask the questions. You know what you have to respond and how much you have to say. It's not compulsory to react for each and every point. Third is the intuition are important for making decision. So this is also we discuss. I don't want to do all these points again and again, because all my friends, they already discussed these leadership points. These are the leadership points which Premji is follow, and which everybody, every leader should follow this. And this is the same points which already discussed. So I don't want to be going in this. So you guys can go for boring session. So I can give the one single line that learn work in a teams. In Wipro, if we can see, because I spoke with some Wipro guys also, they said they work as a teamwork. They never work as an individual. So Premji always believe as a teamwork. Never lose your yes and curiosity. He always said that you should be curiosity, should be your work. So you should be know what next. What next we have to do. Like that, if the country is suffering from Corona, so that time the Premji just with the broader vision, he think and he come out that we have to do something for this. So it's not open for everybody, but he opened that hospital which I spoke with you guys in Pune. So that is also for employees, because employees also getting that day by day, when everybody is working in offices, they got that COVID and all this, and they have their families. It's very difficult. Like Mumbai city, we have a very small houses, we are not able to do home quarantines and all these things. So this time Premji come in first and start doing for their employees. So here I can tell that what Shelly ma'am is tell that employee happy. So by this we can see that the employees are happy that there is a someone who can stand for us in the bad situation, and when they are in needed, the Premji will come in front. So put yourself first as a first leader. Leadership is the leader should be first. As we can see that if when we are if we can go for as a army background, I can tell when the battalion is for front war. So always the commander is a first. So as a same like that in Wipro, the Premji as a commander always as a first. Have a broader social vision. We can see that from hydrogenated fat oils to IT company, I think it's a big and broader vision by Premji, which he saw that time. And the resources are very less and very difficult time. I think he's a great person. And he always believed play to win. He said, you have to play for win only. So most of people I read, and they said, Azim Premji also a Bill Gates of India. These all next personalities attributes are also the same what I already discussed. So I don't want to be stretch this topic again and again. These points. Ethical company, they believe in the ethics. The company is run on ethics only. And the sensible personality is a very simple guy, high on action. He is always in high on action. He never sit. Means if he's retired, but he has to do, he said, I'm not a person, I am not an old person. He always said, I am a young old person. So we can think that how he's on high on actions, believe in specialism. We believe in the leadership qualities, believe in specialism and professionalism. So next, there are all these things I can tell we discuss. These things we can pick up from Google, from some books. These points are we all known. I think everybody knows about these things. Now there are some unknown facts which only we can discuss with their employees, with their company members, subordinates, and to them who already worked with him. So Mr. Premji is one of the most frugal leader and lead by an example. So by this, we can't say if he's a frugal, he's a miser. There is a huge difference between frugal. Frugal is a person who want to spend money where he want and where is the money is needed. He has a big wealth. If he want to spend every day, I think next 5-6 generation can sit at home and eat without earning anything. But that guy is very humble, very frugal. Or if the frugal example, we can say that our parents or our forefather also, what happened when they got the money, they are taking a clothes, some good clothes only on occasions like festival, Deepavali, Eid, Ganpati, on the big festival, we can say Christmas, like that. But these guys are, these are not misers. They know how to spend, where to spend. They can save the money for the futures also. But as comparative to them, if we can see us, what we are doing, the Amazon and Flipkart, that sales are going on. Today is the last day. And I will tell you, unnecessary things we are buying because of thinking, okay, next may we want this, may we want this. So Mr. Azim Premji always think when we want, we can get easily if you have money. So always keep money in your hands, save your money for your future, any uncertainty. So you should save your money. Second, when he is in office, he's spotted sitting in the staff cafeteria having food. So I discussed with these guys. They said that he's a person who never come, who doesn't like that he can sit in that cabin and get everything there. He always, whenever he's there, he just took some meetings and he step out and go in cafeteria, whatever food he want to eat. And sometimes he's standing in coffee vending machines and waiting for his turn, and stand in a queue for that coffee turns. And some employees are telling me that we are already told that, sir, come in front. So he always said, no, I'm waiting for my turn. So we think that's how humble this guy. Mr. Premji is travel always in economy class, in domestic and international flight. As we already know that he's a very big guy. So I told you he's a frugal guy, right? He's a frugal leader. So he always travel domestic as well as international in economy class. But according to his profile, the airlines always offer him as a business class, so he is not able to refuse. But whenever he's trying to be always in economy class. And next, the most important thing, as a Mumbaikar, we all love one street food, which is, I think, vada pav. I think nobody say that I don't like that. So he is a person who always come to Mumbai and eat vada pav in normal street. He never think that this is how the big shop is like that. So he's also very fond of vada pav. He's traveling his business personal. Whenever he's traveling his personal trip, he tried to cover their meetings. If once he finishes work, he will try to pack up with this some meetings if he can do. So he want to utilize his time. So he don't want to waste his time. So he's sitting he's standing in a normal queue in airports and patiently waiting for his turn for this one tickets and all that. So sorry, I'm just the timing, I think it's up. If we can say that Mr. Premji, we can't define in few or 20 minutes or 25 minutes slide Mr. Premji, but we can, I just pick up a few of important things which we can inspired by your leadership. As an entrepreneur, I also think that he is a person who has all qualities, who has all roles which we want to be for a good leader or good leadership. So thank you so much for this ABCD international platform. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening me patiently. Thanks, and please come front if I am if tell me if something I missed, and if something you guys are ready to share, and if you have some questions, please let me know if something is there. Thank you so much, Manoj sir, Akash sir, and ABCD.
Thank you so much. It is such a enriching session listening to Aziz Premji, and believe me, it's impossible covering. In the world we talk about the Ambanis and everything, but whenever India is in crisis, the first person to come and help India is actually Aziz Premji. He doesn't get the acclamation which he wants, or maybe he doesn't need it also. But it's amazing and it's a lovely coverage. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Neetu. It was such a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you.
And if we have anyone having a question, you can ask her directly, please. If there's any question anybody has, you can unmute and please ask her. Anyone from the audience, if they have a question.
I just want to say thank you so very much for this amazing presentation. It was really, truly an eye-opener, and here in Barbados in the Caribbean. So saying hi to everyone from Barbados. I'm Dr. Adrian Daisley. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daisley. It's a pleasure listening from, and it's good from listening from Barbados. I hope all is good with the cricket team there.
Yes, we are coming out of the storm and waiting on the new protocols for COVID-19.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any question for any of the speakers? If everybody can come on the video mode, please. Do we have any questions for any of the speakers? Anyone?
So everyone start your video for 1 minute actually. So we will capture some photos also. Yeah.
Pradeep sir, sorry for interrupting. You had a question, but unfortunately, I was having a time constraint. I'm so sorry, sir. Sir, you're muted. Sir, you're muted.
It was nice presentation on Azim Premji, because many things we were not aware of him. So thank you very much for this. It was very nice.
Do we have any questions for any of the speakers? Sorry, sir, I interrupted you because I was having a time constraint, Pradeep sir. But
No problem, no
you
problem.
had a,
No problem, Manoj. Yeah. I just wanted to ask her what is the meaning of that two movies or videos she has shared with us. That's all.
yeah, sure, sir. Himanshi is there on the platform. Himanshi, the question for you.
If Himanshi is there.
She is there. I don't know whether her video is on. I can see her on this, but I'm not very sure.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Because time is up, so obviously we should.
It was such a fabulous session with such highly motivated speakers. What do I say? It was lovely. I mean, everybody has set us huge benchmarks for the next day. I'm sure the next day speakers are also feeling that pressure coming in now. It's so superb presentation by so lovely people. Yeah, sir.
Manoj, I am feeling nervous. Let me tell you that.
Sir, you're the Bradman, sir. We will feel nervous, sir. You are the Don Bradman of Indian of the cricket.
No.
So, but sir, you don't have to be nervous. In fact, we're all ears listening to you. So just a small recap from what we had from the evening.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Started with Dr. Shelly Bhutani, thought leadership, and I love the fact that everything has something to offer for everyone to learn. So this is a huge USP which I learned from this, that to be a thought leader, you have to be absolutely accessible to everyone. So amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Shelly Bhutani. Uh, my very good friend and the most energetic person, Dr. Shelly West, and I love the way she was saying work-life balance. Ma'am, you reminded me of something I had studied in my MBA, and Dr. and Pradeep sir will also say the six thinking hats. So it's
Yes.
you have it. In fact, we had one of the modern great cricketers trying in India as a coach. Greg Chappell tried it. It didn't work, but it's something which you had said as work-life balance is amazing, and I love your entire energy and the spirit, and setting boundaries with people and own self is very very important to achieve work-life balance. So thank you so much, Shelly ma'am. It was always a pleasure listening, and this is terrific, speech. We loved
Dr.
you that time.
Manoj,
Yes.
you have made my day. The evening is so great, and it's a most cherishable moment because if these words are coming out from a great mentor like you, then I don't require anything else. I am amazed, I am humbled, and heartfelt gratitude to all of you for all these warm words, warm, kind, considerate words, and a special thanks to Mr. Akash for actually giving me an invite to this show. I am really thankful to each one of you. It's a learning exercise, and definitely by listening to all eminent speakers over here, even I've learned a lot. So thank you, Dr. Manoj and Mr. Akash and everyone for listening to me and giving me an honest review. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was lovely listening to Agnipath, and I'm sorry I had to ask you to do it. I love that movie, so very
No,
obsessed with it.
sir. This is
I,
this is more the reason that Nada told me to actually translate it in English.
yeah,
So I really feel honored that I have to give the translation to Nada. So it's a pleasure.
अब इतने दिल से बोल रहे थे तो I'm sure everybody was wanting to know the meaning. So thank you,
Yes,
Nada, for
yes.
asking her to convert into English. And such
Yes,
a
yes, she must. I will be very sad if I don't understand that.
brilliant. And this is what we have learned. This is what we have learned, that we are now crossing the barriers of language. And thank you so much, Lala, for asking her to translate. It's amazing.
Yes.
Uh, Another powerful speaker and a good friend, Himanshi, and I love that word tenacity. I have read this word, but today it hit me back. I want to go to Jeff Bezos' book again and read it. It's such an amazing word, the resilience. And the two videos she shared, I think it's mind blowing. And thank you so much, Imanshi, for putting the YouTube link. We will definitely look into it later on. And in case you are missed out, it's there in the chat box. So thank you, Imanshi. It was lovely, lovely listening to you. Afroza ma'am, she had to leave because of other engagement, but I love the way she was putting across the virtual leadership in the post-COVID era.
I
And
wanted
the best
sorry.
one, I mean, one of the finest one, and the leader of our times, and once again a soft-spoken guy. And I love when the case studies comes in because you're looking at real heroes who do not want any attention. I always say, whenever we have a crisis, the guy who comes without any intention and he leads the way for others to follow is Aziz Premji. We really do not know. Being frugal, and things which Ms. Neetu shared was mind blowing. I'm so sorry that being a good reader, I still didn't do it. And I'm thankful that Pradeep sir also shared the same view with me, that there's so many things of the leaders we are just discovering. And these are your true legends we have. And we need to respect that. So thank you so much, Ms. Neetu Jareth, for enlightening us with all this. Sorry, Dr. Defri, you wanted to say something and I didn't. Yeah, please, sir, please.
Look, it's quite fine. I wanted to thank Akash for reaching out to me and inviting me here because, in the Caribbean, we don't have lots of contacts with Asia. And, the work that we're doing across the world, we need to band together and to help each other. And so I really feel privileged to have been here to hear all of these presentations. And I hope that we can take, the information that we've received and turn it into action, either at the United Nations or even within the OECS in the Caribbean. So I will definitely be reaching out to some of you guys. And Akash, thank you so very much once again for inviting me. Excuse my shades, but it's a light thing. I can't take the light. So thank you very much and have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
And
Thank you for attending.
Yeah, Dr. It's been such a pleasure learning the Calypso. We love Vivian Richards, we love Chris Gale, we love Bravo. So it's good that we have the Caribbean flavor with us right now. It's so nice to get connected. And this is what Dr. Shelley was saying. This is also what we learned, the collaboration which has come. So it's amazing. And thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a great evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm really overwhelmed. Thanks, Akash, for being asking me to be a moderator. And Sanjeevni, you are such a huge superstar. You are the star in the making. Trust me, she was taking notes and following it, and you have done a fab job. So a huge round of applause to the youngest leader we have right now among us, Sanjeevni Gulati. Sanjeevni, you need to say a word before I hand it over to back to Akash.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It really increased my confidence a lot, and thank you, everyone. That's all I want to say.
Uh, Thank you so much, Sanjeevni. And Akash, are we sharing the video for tomorrow? The tomorrow's event, are we
Yes,
sharing?
yes.
Yeah, if you can do the screen sharing, please. And thank you, everyone. And see you tomorrow. And Pradeep, sir, looking forward, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
And thank you, Shashi Kamath, for being such an encouraging part to all the participants. And thank you, Dr. Vishali Tripathi, and everybody who's there right now. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Bye all. Thank you. Bye.
Now, just 1 minute. We just want to see tomorrow's event. This is what is happening tomorrow. And again, great speakers coming in, and you have
Yes,
to be
yes,
there.
yes. I am every day there tomorrow,
Yeah,
and I will speak at the last day. I am last at the last day.
perfect, perfect. So, thank you so much.
I
And
don't know what to speak because everybody said everything about leaders and leadership. It will be really for me.
I'm sure you will get the entire Russia Connect with us. So I'm sure we're looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be there. And thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, once again for being so patiently listening to all of us. And we hope to see you tomorrow again. Thank you once again. And Pradeep, sir, is the session we are looking forward. Thank you so much, sir. And good night,
Yes,
good evening. Thank you. Good afternoon to Caribbean also. Thank you so much.
yes. Thank you, Manu sir, for this wonderful support and for this. And thank you, all great speakers, for your sharing. So lots of both problems भी होते हैं, फिर भी आप support करते हैं, यही बड़ी बात है. I'm so much blessed. And thank you all for your support, Sanjeevani ma'am. Thank you. Especially Nada ma'am also, because she's working lots of for ABCD also. And thank you all participants for joining. So we will meet tomorrow also on same time.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you, ABCD.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I think Akash, we can stop the recording, please.